Good afternoon, you're with the news here on Mirana. My name is Apurva Sridhar. Let's begin with our top focus story. The current Income Tax Act may soon be replaced by a new taxpayer-friendly direct tax code. Now, government-appointed task force constituted to draft the direct tax code has now submitted its report to the Finance Ministry. While the report is not yet public, sources have indicated that the panel has recommended a slew of changes for both the individuals as well as corporate taxpayers. In fact, the proposal includes a rejig in the tax slabs, which could provide tax relief for the middle class.
I believe they will, but after they have to, that call they have to decide. Government has to decide. We have submitted our report.
And any one highlight that you would like to mention? It will make life easier for taxpayers in the future?
Yes, it will. It will. That I can assure.
This is something unique that has happened in the history of our country in terms of tax legislation.
Can we at least say that the taxpayers will soon get a good news or not?
Well, let me tell you, if we had to work so hard for 21 months, we certainly did not work goalless. Our goal was very clear that we come out with a law where all its stakeholders, the revenue, the professionals, and the highest of all, the taxpayers, the interests of all the three segments are taken care of.
My colleague Avni now joining me on the broadcast, helping us understand this better. Avni, it looks like with the reactions that we just heard, not putting out too many details out as well, but very clearly saying that perhaps there could be a big relief there coming in for the taxpayers in future. Are you able to get us some more insights on this to understand the sources better in saying how we can expect the changes to be made and our lives getting better as taxpayers?
Well, Apurva, the direct tax code has been in the works for a long time. Like you heard it, they've been working on it for 21 months and it has finally been submitted to the Finance Minister, the proposals of the direct tax code. It's not yet in the public domain. That is the prerogative of the government and we'll have to see if they choose to make it public or not. But what we understand from sources is that this has been, the proposals are, look at a complete overhaul of the current Income Tax Act, and the one main aim of the direct tax code is to make tax compliance easier, is to make life for taxpayers easier. So there have of course been a slew of recommendations both for individual taxpayers as well as for corporate taxpayers. Just to take you through a few of them, one is, like you pointed out, a rejig in the tax slabs itself as well as surcharges. So this could mean some sort of a relief coming in for the middle class taxpayers. Surcharges should be temporary is the other recommendation that has been made, and the entire structure of filing returns, the entire structure of paying taxes, then compliance will get much easier if this is implemented. As far as the corporate taxpayers are concerned, the one recommendation is that there should be uniform tax rate across the board for domestic as well as foreign companies. The other bit is for startups specifically. A slew of incentives for startups have been recommended to ensure that startups are incentivized. The entire structure is startup friendly. That is the other proposal, and also steps to reduce tax litigation, which is another key issue that a lot of people have been facing, including corporates, at this point in time. So for now, these are some of the recommendations that we understand that have been proposed. We of course have to wait now for A, the report itself to become public, and B, to see what will be the next steps in terms of implementing it, because of course there are questions as to if the relief for taxpayers has to come, which means the cut in the tax slabs, then that means that the government has to find that money somewhere to reduce the burden on taxpayers, and that at this point in time, of course, is a big question mark as well. So we'll have to see what happens next and how and when all of this starts getting implemented. Apurva.
All right, we'll have to leave it there, Avni. Many thanks for joining us and putting all of these things into perspective for us.